Hey team, and welcome back to another unit analysis video. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the first female units that you get in FE7, and the first archer, provided you didn't play Lens mode, Rebecca. Now if you're a hardcore Rebecca fanboy, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance, because this analysis is going to be the truth and nothing but the truth, and you're not going to like it. But with that being said, let's jump on in. Rebecca is a young village girl from one of the villages on the outskirts of Foray. She joins the fight to save her village, and later Eliwood's crew. Pretty normal background, right? I have no problems with her character, none at all, but her performance as a unit is a bit, well, underwhelming. Her join time is excellent, being in either the first or second chapter, depending on whether or not you're playing Eliwood's or Hector's mode, respectively. As far as bases go, hers aren't the worst by any means. 4 strength is a wee bit low, but she can still chip effectively enough with it, and her base speed and skill aren't bad to look at either. She's also one of the only units you have at this point with an actual number for resistance, so that's pretty nice too. Then you look at her growth rates and you think, wow, all the important stats are actually pretty good. Her strength is decent enough, and her skill, luck, and speed growths are all actually pretty high. Defense is kinda low, but it makes sense from a character perspective, as she is pretty young and inexperienced. That doesn't make it not an issue or anything, she still does have low defense, but I understand why, is what I'm saying. Her con is also a wee bit low, but her high speed makes up for it, so it's not that much of a blow to her performance. So what's my issue with Rebecca then? Well, Rebecca has one big underlying issue that makes her one of the hardest units in the game to use. She's an archer. This means that she can only use weapons of the bow weapon type, and bows don't have a single weapon that can attack or counter at one range. Rebecca's class has permanently locked her to 2 range, where she can only really counter enemies that are also archers. She's an automatic target for the game's AI, since she can't hardly ever counter them. It's basically free damage for them since she can't do anything about it. I can't stress enough how this one thing makes her so inefficient and ineffective as a unit. Her strength is also low enough that she can barely do damage without a steel bow, which you can't get for a few chapters. That's not all her fault. Bow might kinda sucks anyway, but it would certainly help her case if she had a bit more strength. Her inability to counter makes using her very tricky. I've seen it done though. I've seen people take Rebecca all the way up through the final chapter and make it work, but her severe lack of versatility makes that a rather challenging task. Basically, to keep her alive, she can only attack on player phase, since most enemies will attack her at 1 range if they can, and she won't be able to hit back. After she's attacked though, you need to be able to do something with her to keep her from getting attacked, since the AI will target her if they can. You could rescue her out with Marcus, or rescue drop her with some combination of units. Most people can since her con is super low. Or you could set up some kind of wall with your other units, something like that. But each of these strategies is keeping my other units from actually doing something on that turn in order to keep Rebecca alive. That's a turn I could have had Marcus, stabbing people or something and clearing enemies out quickly instead of trying to feed Rebecca pot shots at enemies that can't fight, never being able to 1-round enemies and maybe not even 2-round some enemies. She's just a lot more trouble than she's worth in my opinion. Now, at the end of the day, the choice is up to you. I'm not here to tell you how to play your single-player game. If you really like Rebecca, go ahead and use her if you like. If you're having fun, that's what's important. But I am providing the most accurate and pertinent information that I can, and I really do recommend picking someone else for your team. But again, don't let me stop you from enjoying yourself. I'm just here to make sure you're making an informed decision. That's all I have to say about Rebecca. Please go ahead and tell me what you think of Rebecca in the comments below, something I missed, your thoughts and opinions, whatever you want. Don't forget to like, subscribe, the whole bit. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!